Jennifer Lawrence unsure she should keep criticizing Orange Man and talking politics. Well, I'll tell you the inconvenient truth. For you, I don't think it matters anymore. We already know who you are. We've already seen you with your mask off. I don't think shutting up now is really going to help. You've already driven away half the country, but you're welcome to do whatever you want. Jennifer Lawrence is rethinking whether she could should continue speaking out against Orange Man. I really don't know if I should. So in her case, to her credit, I think what's happening is she's realizing that nothing good is coming of this. She doesn't have the power to actually change anything. The more she does it, the less people care about her opinion. Her movies are suffering because of it. So it's nothing but negatives and there's no positive. I think that's why she's starting to think about it. Like, why am I even doing this again? Every time I open my mouth about this topic, I lose support. I lose money. And nothing gets done. Nothing gets changed. The other side keeps gaining power while ours keeps weakening. Maybe it will be best if I just kept my mouth shut. Yeah, what a concept. I think that would have been the best in the past, but now the mask is off, man. I mean, we already know who you are. Now, Jennifer Lawrence is rethinking her post and discussing her political views. While speaking on the New York Lies, the interview podcast, the Die My Love star, who has been a vocal critic of Orange Man for years, questioned whether she should continue to share her political opinions going forward. You've made your point, and everyone's left. I don't even know if I should. We've learned erection after erection, celebrities do not make a difference whatsoever on who people vote for. And so then what am I doing? I'm just sharing my opinion on something that's going to add fuel to a fire that's ripping the country apart. I mean, we are so divided. Yeah, notice that once the tide starts turning against them, suddenly they want to stop the division. Yeah, kind of like how when they think they have the power, they just want to Minecraft all of us. But as soon as we get the upper hand, can't we all just learn to get along? The Oscar-winning star, 35, went on to say that she's in a complicated recalibration and doesn't want people to avoid her work because they disagree with her politically. Yeah, what was that movie they said? Yeah, Die My Love. I had no idea what that is, when it's coming out, if it even already came out. What I do know is that Hollywood is having like their worst October ever on record right now. So I think this is just desperation. But little do they know that the people they drove away found alternatives and they're not going to come back. Yeah, I don't want to start turning people off to films and to art that could change consciousness or change the world because they don't like my political opinions. Now, this is very important. If you read into what she said here, I don't want people to avoid my propaganda because of something I said. I should probably keep my mouth shut and rely on the much better writers of the movie I'm in to try to brainwash them instead of me. If I can't say something that's going to speak to some kind of peace or lowering the temperature or some sort of solution, I just don't want to be part of the problem. I don't want to make the problem worse. Oh, God, this talking point again. I'm part of the solution, not part of the problem. And while she may be less politically outspoken in the future, Lawrence noticed she'll continue expressing her politics through her work, telling the New York Lies a lot of my movies coming out of my production company are expression of the political landscape. That's how I feel I can be helpful. So she's basically telling you to your face, my movies are still going to be propaganda for my political beliefs. I'm just not going to talk about them personally to hopefully trick some of you guys into watching my propaganda. So basically, she's learned nothing. She's all she's trying to do is be a lot more sneaky about it. She's going to try to, do it more underground, just giving us even more of a reason to avoid her movies. Lawrence grew up in a Republican family. Yeah, where did they go wrong? And said she voted for John McCain for president. That doesn't make you a Republican. Before she began to identify as a Democrat through Obama's presidency and grew up to realize I was voting against my own rights. I'm proud to say I'm a Democrat. Oh, so she realized that she was voting against extra privileges. And she doesn't know that that's how the Democrats kind of, bribe them into voting for him. Well, that's fine. Doesn't matter. In current year minus 10, she told Entertainment Weekly, if Orange Man becomes president, that would be the end of the world. Well, 5 years into his presidency, the world is still here. That's kind of weird, isn't it? She supported Brandon for president in current year minus 5 and told V Magazine, Orange Man has and will continue to put himself before the safety and well-being of America. He does not represent my values as American, most importantly as a human being. And guess what? You don't represent ours either. That's why we're more than happy to just forget about your movies. Yeah, see, this is true. Jennifer Lawrence knows she's peaked early thanks to Harvey Weinstein, so she's trying to make herself as marketable as possible while she's hitting the wall. That's exactly right. Most of these female celebrities that only rely on their looks don't last very long once their looks fade. You got some with actual talent like Betty White that can go on to have 80-year-long careers long after their looks faded. But most of these thoughts don't have two functioning brain cells in their skulls. And they're too proud and dumb to let a manager handle their public image and whatnot. So I think we're going to be seeing the end of her career. We're already seeing it. Like everything she's in now is flopping, right? Just like all these other celebrities. It is pretty much already over. And current year minus 3, the Silver Linings Playbook star critic. I don't even know what that is either. Criticize people who aren't political while speaking to Vogue. If you live in the United States of America, she said at the time, you have to be political. It's too dire. Politics are killing people. That aged very well after Charlie Kirk's assassination, didn't it? Yeah. I mean, she's right. The right should have been more involved sooner. The violent far-left extremists should have been shut down sooner. Before they got this bad. Ahead of the current year minus 1 presidential election, Lawrence endorsed Democratic nominee Heals Up Harris, telling people she's an amazing candidate. And I know she'll do whatever she can to protect reproductive rights. Yeah. Well, what is it with women who claim that they're good persons, and yet the only thing they care about is being able to keep murdering their babies? That is the number one concern for women, is being allowed to keep murdering their babies. Such natural caregiver energy. On the interview podcast, Lawrence also reflected on why Orange Man's second term feels different from his first. When he said what he was going to do, we knew what he did for 4 years. He was very clear, and that's what we chose again. No, I mean, clearly this. Like I said, she doesn't even have 2 working brain cells. Orange Man was very subdued in his first term because back then he still thought the far left could be reasoned with. And then they tried to assassinate him. And then they politically persecuted him for 4 years. And then they tried to destroy him, his family, his business. And then they tried to assassinate him. They did assassinate Charlie Kirk. He doesn't have to worry about getting reelected again. No, his second term is him going pedal to the metal. He's literally got no reason to hold back anymore. What else can they do to him that they didn't already? You ain't seen nothing yet. Lawrence is promoting her Oscar hopeful Die My Love, in which she stars a young mother opposite Robert Pattinson. The film, which premiered at the Cannes Film Festival, marks the first movie role for Lawrence since her current year minus 2 comedy, No Hard Feelings. She earned acclaim and early Oscar buzz for the performance. And nobody outside of the Hollywood Oscar circle jerk is going to care. I'm already seeing no hype for that. I didn't even know what the fuck this was. Like this seems like yet another Oscar bait movie that was created solely for the purpose of trying to win an Oscar. Well, good luck with that. I mean, maybe you'll even win one for all the good it's going to do you sitting on your shelf collecting dust when you're unemployed in 10 years. That's all going to be MAGA's fault somehow, though. I'm looking forward to the excuses.